Hey, Unc, how you doing? How you doing? How's
Hey,
it
hey, how
been?
you?
I'm
Wonderful,
good. I'm
wonderful,
good.
wonderful,
Welcome
wonderful.
everybody to the Richardson Family Hustle. Listen, today we're gonna be talking about finances. Unc, you know a little
Right.
something about that, right?
I can speak on startup money for like say like for a painting company or a cleaning company or something, real general. So say you opening up a painting company. Um, your startup money should be very minimal. Like usually you're going to end up showing up to the job site in your regular car. Don't go out and finance a brand new pickup truck
Right.
so you can pull up in front of a house and say, I'm a painter, and I got $1,000 car note already that I'm in the hole with. So I really need to get this job. You show up ready to work. You need basic tools. Most people who start companies normally start purchasing tools ahead of time and the items that they need for the type of work that they're going to be doing, whether it's on a business side. If you are in accounting, you went to school, so you probably buy a calculator, you know. You probably buy notebook paper and things like that. You want to try to keep the spending before you get it as minimum as possible. That's my advice
That's a
because
word.
you know we get very happy and excited about I have a business. When you get that letter saying that you are approved to be a business and you get that tax ID number, you're like, I'm legit now. And you make your first purchase and depending on if your company requires you to have some type of insurance for your services, you get your insurance certificate and you're like, I'm there, I'm legit now. You want to have less overhead as
Yeah,
possible, but still be able to sustain what you need to do and run your business at the same time. That's my
absolutely.
advice. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep low overhead. That should be the mindset,
Yeah.
the entire run of the business.
Yeah. Exactly.
To be honest,
Exactly.
I've been in business for over almost 20 years.
Yeah.
But that's been sort of the mindset over the course of the business. Keep overhead low, try to run it lean, just so that you're able to do what you do. I also heard before that it takes about three. You should at least keep about 3 months worth of your expenses on reserve, even
Yeah.
as the
You
business
build up
owner.
to it. You
Yeah,
build up
yeah,
to it. Some
yeah.
of us financially a little bit more in a better financial situation than others. And
Mm,
you can start off with having that. Now, if you start a business and you're still working a full-time job, you
right.
got you got leverage there because you have income that you've already been living your life off. So
Mm-hmm.
all this extra income that you're getting, what we would say is on the side, and
Mm-hmm.
you if you got your own income
Yeah.
that's guaranteed, so that extra money you can start doing that and start setting it up to where you're saving money. You don't have to
Mhm.
always run out and go spend it. So
Right.
that's one of the sacrifices that you make when you run your own business, that
Yeah.
sometimes you make the sacrifice and you don't pay yourself
Oh,
because
yeah. Oh, I know
you
about
want to
that.
build your name, you want to build your brand, and you want to build your business. So you take that money and you set it aside. So when that big job comes, and
Hmm.
for instance, like I said, I can speak on general contracting stuff. I'm okay with a job coming up, and then by law you only can ask for a certain amount of money up
Hmm.
front to pay
Hmm.
for material and things like that.
Hmm.
So you have the money set aside to pay your labor and things like that until you get the big check and things like that.
Yeah. That's
Always,
good.
always take notes and things, just keep track of it because it can easily spin. And I always say each in my type of business, you don't mix one job with the other job. Never mix the money. Never
Yeah.
mix the money
And you don't
because
see your profit really. It's hard to
yeah,
see your
and
profit.
then before you know it, you have spent your profit off of one
Mm-hmm.
job, and you're depending on the other job to just keep you right here. So you done
Yeah.
took money from here to do this and all that stuff. So, you
Yeah.
know, and it's hard to do
Mm-hmm.
sometimes because, you know, you're hungry, you got the hustle spirit in your mind, your mindset, and you're just like, you know, I'm gonna take this to do this, and I'm gonna get this back and do this back. And then when it's all said and done, you done paid your workers, you done paid out whatever you need to pay out, and then you
Mm-hmm.
like $2. You know,
This
two
is my
dollars.
life. I think it's right
Right,
across the screen. This is your
right,
life.
right, exactly. You know, two
Yeah.
dollars. Oh wow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and so then at that point, you know, that didn't calculate out right. So
Yeah.
then you learn that. And I learned that the hard way. One of my business
Sure.
partners used to teach me, you know, we get a check for $13,000 on a $50,000 job, and we like, oh, we're gonna save money on this, and we only have to spend $5,000 on material or whatever, and then we got that other money sitting there, and that money look real good when your pockets is thin. You know,
Right.
the
But
necessities, gas to get back
yeah,
in
to the
food,
jobs.
to the job, you know, eat, feed yourself,
Yeah.
eat food. You don't have to go to Roost Crips or none of
Right.
that stuff like
Not
that.
every time.
Just your normal everyday stuff, you know, just the is, you know, the necessities, and then you will come out on top always. If you do your research
Mm-hmm.
on what type of overhead and things like that you would
That's important.
necessarily need and stuff, you know, in a lot of business, the first thing is clients. You know, you have to have clients and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people who want to start a business always say, "Well, I'm just waiting for the right time.
Yeah.
I just want it to be just right." Just to
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, there will never be a just right time.
I like that. Yeah,
There
that's
would never
fine.
be a just right time. The time is if you want to do it, do it.
Do it now. Yeah.
Do it
I
now.
agree with that,
You
Andre.
don't have to wait for this. You don't have to wait for that. You don't step into a business and then the next day you're a millionaire. It
Right.
don't work that way.
That's
There's
period.
no
Yeah.
there's no success without some type of failure or some
Yeah.
type of struggle.
Say
If
that
you get
again to the
success,
people. Say that again to the people in the back.
right,
There ain't what you
exactly.
say.
There's
You
no real
probably remember.
success without some struggle or failure.
This is
If
fine.
you got success and there was no struggle and no failure,
You might
I'm
think
just
about
gonna point.
that.
I'm not gonna put nothing, no bad vibe on you, but I'm just gonna point at you and say,
Yeah.
okay, bro, I wish you the best as always.
Yeah.
But you have to. The time is whenever you think about it, you start doing the work on it. It is just right then. You can go start a business and not make one dime and open up a business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
can open up a business. You can do the paperwork that's needed, depending on what type of business that you're going to have. You can do it. You
Right.
know, if your business requires you to have insurance, you can get insurance. It's minimum upfront charges for things like that. Monthly
Right.
fee, keep your insurance going, and you know, get your business, get your tax ID, get in your state, you know, be on the
Every
list where it
yeah.
says that you're in good standing, and you stay
Mm-hmm.
that way. Keep your
Yeah.
good standing with the area that you're doing work in,
That's
because the
good
moment
too.
you're out of good standing, it's bad. Like if you do type of work where you like my company does work for a real estate agency sometime, you know, realtors come to us and refer us to their customers. And before they
Mm-hmm.
do that, they have to check us out. They have to go online and see if our company is in good standing, because by law, it's their job to do that if they refer us to a customer. And you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be shunned by like what's that Century 21. One if one realtor shun you and say they're not in good standing,
They
that
remember.
whole company,
They
they'll
may
be like,
not
wait a minute.
remember everything
Yeah,
that you did that
exactly.
was good, but they will remember that
Exactly.
one time that you weren't in compliance. That was something, yeah. Compliance
Yeah.
issues and all those things are so
Yep.
important. It's your due
Exactly. So
diligence.
always remember,
Yeah,
start where you stand.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's that's a powerful statement.
yeah.
Start your business where you stand. And
Mm-hmm.
then all the tools, all
Yeah,
the work, all that stuff come to you.
you
It
can
takes
build on it.
patience, even though you got the what do you call it, the thrive, and you got the
Mm-hmm.
momentum going and all that stuff. And I'm ready. You hungry, hungry.
Mm-hmm.
That also comes with patience. You will have some people that
Absolutely.
tell you no, and you will have a lot more that will tell you yes.
That's correct. And
Yep.
zeal without knowledge, you got to have it anchored in wisdom. You can't be so gung ho about your brand. It's my brand. It's my brand, my brand. And then, just because you had one struck of luck on TikTok and you went viral, still don't mean you done made it. You literally
Right.
need to still do your due diligence. So I appreciate that.
Yep.
You definitely have to do your due diligence, which reminds me, what about business plans? How do you feel about that? Are they needed to
Yes.
start your business? Good, good, good.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
agree.
Even if you're by yourself and
Mm-hmm.
you're the only business owner, what does your business look like on a piece of paper? You should set your business plan up to where you can walk into a bank and hand them a piece of paper and say, "This is my business plan. I need you to give me 50 grand."
Hopefully, it'd be more than one piece of paper, though.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
I
Yeah,
know what you mean. You got to be
yeah,
ready. Yeah,
you got to be ready. Show
yeah,
show yourself what your business plan is.
right.
Let you understand it because
Think I was
yeah,
gonna say, think about that. I'm gonna cut you off, but think about that
mhm,
too, because you may have a good idea to do something, but who
right,
are your competitors? Is your business needed? Is it an essential business? Will it
right,
thrive in the middle of a pandemic? Man, I've never ever had to think about businesses in a way because I used to boom, just spit on some, and it turns into gold. But after the pandemic, you really cannot afford to just like throw money at something just because it's a good idea. Business plans anchor your business idea.
right,
It
exactly.
literally is your Bible for your business. That's how I see a
Yeah,
business plan. And if you don't have one, you should begin working on one. You need to know your budgets. Just what my uncle was saying. You got to go and do your budget numbers. You got to figure out how much it costs to do something. How
yep,
much can you sell things for? What is the cost benefit analysis? Is it
hmm,
going to benefit you? How is it going to pay? Write in your salary. What's your
exactly,
sales goals? All of
exactly.
that's important. Who's going to market your business for you? Are you just going to rely on your viral opportunity to go, on TikTok, or are you really literally going to pay for advertising? So business plans are essential
Yep,
to having when you are a business owner.
exactly.
I encourage everybody to do it.
And LaShawn, I would say this: guess who is your number one competitor in your business?
Mm-hmm.
Google.
You said Google.
Google is your number one competitor. Any
Mm-hmm.
type of service that you give to the public, right? That is your business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you tell your customer, they
Mm-hmm.
can go check. They can
Yeah.
double check and they can fact check
Oh,
everything that you say.
yeah, for fact checking.
So understand that. So
Like you
when
ain't
you're
right.
branding yourself, and like LaShawn said, all those things about knowing your competitors, knowing your pricing, that
Mm-hmm.
is a
That's a
very
big deal.
big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're selling a product for $70 and
Mm-hmm.
everybody else is selling it for 40, what
Right.
makes your product $30 more than the other? What are you offering
Yeah.
that's so great that's better than the competitor? And
And
one
what
thing I
makes
used
you
to, mhm,
unique in your
right,
industry? We got
exactly,
25 of people doing candles. What's the difference in your candle? Why would I
exactly.
want to buy yours? I was going to tell you, we saw
Yeah,
that we did Marketplace Underground, and I ain't gonna lie, we made a lot of money. I reported it to the IRS,
right.
but I also
She
gave
put
it
that
back to them.
disclaimer in
Look, put that out there. I totally did, but bruh, but really, I actually reinvested back into. That's what you don't do. I
right.
did that because I did it for fun. I
Hmm.
literally, I saw opportunity to do a marketplace. It's
Hmm.
something that I like anyway.
Right.
I've always been. Did you know this about me? Growing up, I've always been into like flea markets and
Oh,
um,
wow.
yeah, like I literally have been
I like a
always
good
that.
bargain myself.
Yeah, but not just
Exactly.
the bargains. For
Hmm.
me, you know what it was. You know what it was with markets. is that they were products personally curated.
Yeah.
So I've always been into, oh, this is a good product. Like you want, yeah. Ivory may be dominating the soap industry, but you ain't got safeguard if you ain't got Ivory. Like you got
Right. Exactly.
competitors, and I've always liked this. I've always been into it. But when I did the markets, I promise you, I had no clue it was gonna boom like it did. I
Yeah.
am seriously considering doing markets, like
Right.
going back to that specialty
Mm-hmm.
thing. Man, but
Yeah.
I was gonna say you really have to prepare yourself. When I was doing the markets, there were like so many markets out there.
Mm-hmm.
There were black owned markets that were branding themselves, that were doing a better job at, having this thing, and it was oversaturated. I
Yeah.
think when you're a business and you have something good, that you better make sure that you are nurturing what's good about you. Because if it's
Yep,
just
that's
about
correct.
shopping, I can go down the street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And they got
Exactly.
10 products to your 5 specialty products. What's different about you? And so those were some things that I learned. I only did them during the summer, and man, we made a pretty good pay. I mean, when I say pretty good, I would say it was pretty decent for
Yeah.
a first time, you
Yeah.
know, investment.
I still have some of my products that I purchased at one of your pop-ups.
Markets,
Yeah,
them markets
exactly.
are
Yeah,
the, I'm
marketplace.
glad to
Yeah,
hear that. I still
exactly. Yeah,
use some of those
yeah,
products. A
exactly.
lot of those
Yeah.
people
You'd be
also too, markets were good. I mean, we can talk about this another time, but since I'm already here,
Mhm.
markets are good for testing products too. I don't know if
Yeah.
people know that.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah,
you don't, if
exactly.
you think it's good,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
everybody to encourage you to
Mm-hmm.
put your mac and cheese on the table and sell it,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yep.
will know if it's really good by
Exactly. Yeah.
testing it in the market. So
Exactly.
I love
Exactly.
that idea.
Yep.
But so y'all
Exactly.
just look for it. It's coming back. Don't
Right.
worry.
You
I
know,
enjoy
another
it.
thing, LaShawn,
Mhm.
I heard you like just speaking on the marketplace type thing. Like I will tell you that probably 90% of my tools that I personally own, I
Mhm.
did not purchase brand new.
Really?
I did not,
That's
there was
good.
no need
That's a
to
good
purchase brand new,
tip
you
for
know.
somebody. That's
Yeah,
good.
and you have to, like I said, you have to look at what you're doing, look
Mhm.
at the type of tools and things that you need. You
Mhm.
don't have to purchase them brand new. When you walk
True.
into somebody's house after they sign the contract with you and say, "Yes, I want you to be the contractor. I want you to do this work," they're not looking at your tools.
But you have like brand new
They're
spanking new
looking at
product.
the work that you're doing. They could care
Right.
less if that tool is shiny or if it's dirty. And most of them appreciate your tubes being dirty,
Because
looking like there's some wear and
it's
tear,
got some
because that
mouth
makes
on
them
it.
feel like that you've been doing something. And you go in there with a whole bunch of new stuff, and they like, "Is he this first time doing this?" You know,
You know,
but
I didn't even think of
90%,
that, Aunt.
yeah,
You know what? I actually didn't think of that. And I'm
yeah,
glad this conversation is going in that
90% of
direction.
their stuff you do not
I
have to
am
purchase
a
brand new.
stickler for
Mm-hmm.
brand spanking quality
Mm-hmm.
shiny things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because of the industry that I work in. And I think that's the difference. I think it is different when you work in a certain, but I didn't think of it that way, because they could assume because you're so sparkly and shiny that
Yeah.
you don't have the experience. I never even considered that, because I'm like me, for instance, with marketing. I'm gonna just be honest. A lot of marketing I did, on the cheap,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't have the budgets to do
Mm-hmm.
certain things, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
eventually you can, but I was like, man, I got to compete with my competitors. But
Right.
honest to God, I mean, don't kill yourself if you don't. You just have to
You
get
don't.
going,
You
right?
have to get going.
Do
And
it do
there's
the best you
nothing
can.
wrong with purchasing used items that still work, that can help you build your business.
Right.
Now, you don't have to stick with those used items. You can
No, you can
eventually
always
start buying
upgrade them.
newer
Yeah.
things, and they will break eventually and stuff. But if you,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, say a drill, a brand new
Mm-hmm.
DeWalt drill will cost you $239. One at the
Mm-hmm.
pawn stop costs you $100. You just saved
Right.
yourself $140 to buy a
Say
whole bunch
that.
of more tubes. You
Right.
take that other 140,
I
and
like
then you
that.
say, I need a whole toolbox of tools. And he'll say,
Mm-hmm.
I got a whole bunch of tools in toolboxes. And then you
Right.
just start going through the toolboxes and looking inside. Oh, there's a knife in here. There's some ratchets. There's this. There's sockets. There's channel locks. There's screwdrivers, flathead.
Right.
Oh, give me $100. Now, the money that you would have spent on that brand new drill
Right.
for $239, you just got all the tools
One,
you need.
two.
You got a drill, and you still got $40. Go get you
See,
some McDonald's and call it
see,
a day. Like that's just how you do it.
I
You know,
like that. That's
and
good.
and given all businesses, sometimes you do have to purchase new. Like I said,
I mean, even like
this is
that company
this is a
call we were
wide
talking
this is
about.
a wide variety of things,
Yeah.
uh, depending on your business that you do and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. But you don't always have to buy brand new.
That's correct. I
That's
like
one of my
that,
things.
Unc. I think
Yeah,
we could do a master class on that.
yeah,
Really, like
exactly.
thrifting, real
Right,
talk, even thrifting. I think I'm telling you, I have a thing. I've been praying about it. I'm a pastor, right? But
right,
I was like, God, I love like shopping. I like curating gifts. I like
right,
getting more for my money. And all. Like that is something I truly enjoy,
right,
thrifting and
right.
yard sailing and all that. Cause I can find,
Yeah,
I actually have an eye for things. And I asked God, could I do that? And he was like, that is a hobby. But I love it. It's like I
right.
do it. And I mean, I do it in retirement. But man,
Yeah,
I'd love to talk about that. Maybe one day just do a talk
yeah.
on us
Mm-hmm,
thrifting and how you can sort of leverage
mm-hmm.
your resources to get what you need to get started and still perform at the quality
Highest
level
quality. Yep,
are
exactly.
accustomed. For a long time, I'll tell you a secret. Our family got a lot of entrepreneurs, man. We are rich in entrepreneurs in our family, right? I ain't gonna name all the businesses. We've
Mm-hmm,
had businesses start and stop and start and stop. And
mm-hmm.
my daughter, for a long time, I didn't have, in the business I'm in, in addition to ministry, I have to have professional photographs. And for a long time, my daughter was my photographer. And
Right,
believe it or not,
exactly.
and she's actually good. She won't do it professionally
Right,
because she likes them regular 15th and 31st paychecks. I get it. But
exactly.
but she is actually very good. And the thing
Right.
about it is sometimes you really don't have to spend a lot of money. What
You
is
don't.
what are people doing around you that you can share or barter some things with? And that's the thing. I think that's the beauty
Mm-hmm,
of our relationship in our family, or what's
mm-hmm,
unique about the Richardson family hustle, and why I
mm-hmm.
thought this was important for other people to know is
Right,
that in my family, I got almost everything I need to do certain things in my business.
exactly.
Like almost everything. Rick
It's your
started,
own. It's
uh,
your own network within your family.
he started getting into graphic designs. Now I use
Right.
this other company. We are actually going to share her product. CEO of My Life is one of my custom dealers. I love the quality of her
I
work.
I
Right.
I I I'm familiar with her. I've
Okay, good.
I've
Miss
read
Miss
some
V
things that
Phelps.
she
That's
put
what
out
I said.
there. Yeah,
Hey V.
she's
Anyway,
definitely
she
good.
she does all of the
Mhm,
custom gathering
mhm.
seed missionary outreach
Right.
fellowship stuff.
Mm-hmm,
But husband was like, I just want to see, Bob. We start playing with this machine and started doing all the churches stuff. And so I
mm-hmm.
almost literally have almost everything I need within my family. My sister does the catering. I mean, we could name them. My aunt decorating and entertainment, right? We got DJs,
Yep. Exactly.
but and shoot,
Exactly.
we actually got artists in our family too, three
Yeah.
up and
Exactly.
coming.
Right.
But I mean,
Exactly.
I don't want to. I would love to have them on the show one of these
Right.
days. But I'm gonna let us. Let's, for the sake of our audience, we're talking about financing your business. What are
Mm-hmm.
some common places, or where are some common places that people can obtain funding? If you just ratchet them all.
Um, again, it all depends on the type of business that you're doing, um, services that you're rendering. Most of your funding is going to come from the service that you render. You
Okay.
know, you know, I always say never bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah, absolutely.
When money comes to you real easily,
Mm-hmm.
in the form of a loan and stuff like that, that loan has to be paid back with extra on
Yeah.
top of it. You get 50,000, before you know it, you done pay these people back 70,000.
That
I tell
interest kick
people,
your butt.
think about it, figure out a way, that's where that line comes in of patience.
Mm-hmm.
People say, okay, I got a business now and I'm working. I've made a little money this year and I want to go get a loan to further my business, to do this. I
Mm-hmm.
encourage people to watch the TV show The Shark.
Yeah,
It's
like
it's
Shark Tank.
it's like it's like it's like
Shark Tank, you talking about?
yeah, Shark Tank. Yeah, it's
All
like
right, they
gold.
don't give us no endorsements,
You
but
listen, you listen it, you listen to them, and you
Damon
listen to
John.
how right, exactly. You listen to how they talk, and you
Mm-hmm.
listen to how they do it, and they'll tell you your mindset when you run a business. You have to change your mindset. You have to have a broader mindset. You have to be open to new things, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
be creative when it comes to money. You can have
Right.
a good service and a good product, but if your organization and your financial side of it is all over the place, people look at that. They don't just look at
Mm-hmm.
you come in and say, I need this, and then they looking at your whole organization as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
They like, if I give you $50,000 and I put a 20% interest rate on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say that you're just not gonna go splurge and not use that
I'm gonna
50
tell you,
what
it's
I
so
need you to
much.
do. Yeah.
It's so much media out there. I apologize. There's so much media out there trying to show people how to get loans, no
Mm-hmm.
interest loans, and all that kind of stuff. Loans are a good business. I mean, are a good funding source if you know that you can return that amount. Because, like you just said, those
Yeah.
loans have to be paid back. Grants are
Yeah.
also good if your business is
Mm-hmm.
fundable
Right.
by a philanthropic organization. Grants are good, but again, just like loans, you're going to have to do due diligence with
Yep.
grants.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't have to pay them back unless you didn't spend them the way they
Right.
said. People don't know
Yeah.
that if you don't spend the grant the way that you told them or proposed that
Yeah.
you were going to
You're in
spend it,
trouble.
they're going to want it back.
I personally have not had to take a loan out for my business.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
I practice the patience part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I kept a full-time job
Mm-hmm.
to
Oh,
to
working.
supplement everything that I needed to supplement and still have a steady income coming in as I built money, as I built the savings, as I built the business and things like that. I had the patience,
That's
and
sustainable.
then because, at my age, everything that I put my hands into, I want to keep running and continuously to run to the point to where I'm not actually there, but I'm still making my money off of it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I'm waking up, drinking my coffee on the back porch, looking at the water, whether it's a
Mm-hmm.
pool or whether it's a river. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely, man. That's
it's
important.
patience. It,
I
it, it
mean,
takes
people call
patience.
that they call that cheap. I think it's frugal. I think it's practical. I
Yeah.
think it's important that there are those that spend and those that don't. The
Yeah.
reason that those that don't, oftentimes they catch the ones that spend. So I mean, it's the same thing though, Andre. Like, what is your motivation for wanting to start your business? Is it so you can be broke tomorrow? I mean, you got to be thinking
Yeah,
about
that's not
business.
that's
Yeah.
nobody. I've never met a person that wants to start a business and be broke. That's
No,
not the goal
no,
of it. The goal
no.
of it is to be successful and to, I won't say be wealthy and rich, but the goal of most people that start business is the independence of being your own boss
Absolutely.
and
That's
running
my
your own
favorite part.
show, and then
Being in
enjoying the
control of your own
fruits
time.
the fruits
Yeah.
of enjoying the fruits of your labor
Yeah.
and being able to relax and have it to where you can take that flight when you're ready to, or as what's that rapper named Jay-Z says, change codes, zip
Oh
codes,
no,
no,
I don't
no,
listen
it
to
wasn't that, no, change the weather.
Okay.
He said he wanted to make enough money so he could change the weather. And if
Right
people
though.
trying to catch up to that, I know I'm an older guy. Changing the weather is oh, it's too cold up here, so let me fly and stay somewhere else where it's
all
warm.
day. I remember, but sometimes I think it's important too for the type of business we're starting.
Right,
You need to know its trajectory. You need to know
right,
like what the ceiling could be
right.
on that particular goal, and then that way you could
Hmm.
start setting short-term goals to get there. I like that. I like the fact that you said patience because
Yeah,
the money ain't
you
gonna
need
come.
to have it.
You
It's big.
literally got to be like, listen, no, you can't buy
Hmm.
that Lamborghini. No, you're trying to buy a building. You got to
And it's
think.
hard. It's hard.
I
It's
know.
hard because you know that money is sitting right there, and that little, like the cartoons where
That
you got the
kitty.
one guy on this side of your shoulder and the other guy over here.
Yeah.
Like, you worked for it, go get it. And this one, nah, save that money for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Look, if you're just gonna work and not do nothing about, you have to have patience. Is a very, uh, a short word for the whole thing. Is patience and humbleness. You have to be
Absolutely.
patient. You have to be humble. One thing that I want to say, LaShawn, that's real important to me,
Mm-hmm.
and just for anybody that want to start any type of business,
Mm-hmm.
there's only one thing
Mm-hmm.
that makes stepping out there and starting your own business impossible to
Mm-hmm.
achieve,
Okay.
and that's fear.
Okay. Okay. That's facts. Yeah. Yeah. You can't be fearful, especially if you don't believe in your vision.
Right,
If you don't believe it, nobody else is going to believe
right. The
it. You
fear of
can't.
failure is the dream killer.
Yeah,
Trust me on that.
absolutely it is.
When you
That's
fear to fail,
yeah,
that's the dream killer right there.
yeah.
And you'll stay comfort. You'll
This
stay
is
in the
good
comfort zone.
wisdom.
You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
fear of failure, it will keep you here for the rest of your life and not up here. You know,
on so
it's the
many
fear of failure
levels.
on so many levels,
On so many levels. I was also going to thank you for that wisdom. I was also going to add to the conversation that collateral media is a great way. Collateral things are ways to raise funds. We get people
Yeah.
doing T-shirts,
Hmm.
mugs, pens.
Right.
Anytime you can give away something with your logo on it,
Right.
it's free advertising.
Right.
Giveaways, donations, cause related marketing is another way
Yeah.
where you support a cause and you can provide. You end up putting your logo mark on it because you're giving it to them for free, but it's going into their audience. That's another way. Advertising is a way to raise funds. Crowdfunding. Crowdfunding. We have a organization that we're partnered with,
Hmm.
and as a nonprofit, we do a lot of sharing resources. And so one of the guys that handles some of the people that come into our organization that are in need, our way of sort of partnering with them is that we provide funding, we provide fundraisers for them, which is considered crowdfunding. Also,
Hmm.
what is it? GoFundMe is a crowdfunding source. They've
Hmm.
got others, but crowdfunding is okay if you got people who believe in you and you
Right.
really truly are doing something like that.
Right.
And another thing I was going to say was not just t-shirts, mugs, all that kind of stuff. Um, I it can get squirrely with that, but you certainly want to make sure that the purpose by which you put your logo mark on it
Right.
is to get the word out. Whenever you
Right.
sponsorships, foundations, all of those places are ways that you can receive funding. But every place that you receive something, do know that there are going to be guidelines that you're going to have to follow in order to get them done.
Yeah,
Listen, we're going to
exactly.
take a short break.
Okay.
Folks, we've been talking good about funding your business. I hope you are getting something out of this talk. When we come back, we're going to talk about when we get that big check. What are some of the first things we do? And then we will be back. God bless y'all.
All right.
Well, we are back, y'all. We've been having a really good discussion with my uncle. He is very disciplined. I'm finding that out as it relates to spending. He be
Right.
on that side. But no, you know what? In order to keep money, sometimes you gotta be conservative about your spending. I was explaining to him on the break that sometimes you gotta spend money to earn money too. It depends
Mhm.
on the type of business that you have. So that may not be everybody's testimony. That one big check
Right.
for you might be rebranding your vehicle or
Mhm.
buying that first van. So tell our listening audience just before we wrap up tonight, what should be the first few things we spend that big check on? And considering a big check, this is the one that everybody's been paid, and then your surplus is large. So what should you do with that big check? And I'm gonna let you
Um,
end on that note.
I always tell people to go back to the business plan. How did you set it up? Most people who set up their business plan, they set up a payment thing. They set up a certain amount, a certain percentage is for payroll. Another percentage is for the business itself. You have to be able to pay yourself, and you have to be able to pay the business. Now, the business payment can involve a lot of things. It can involve paying for marketing, just like you said, rebranding things. It can be for office space that you have to have, you know, for business. It could be your cell phone. You can't run a business without a phone, and if you don't
Mhm.
have an office with a phone in it, it could be for internet service. The business has its own
Expenses.
things. If your
Mhm.
if your vehicles, if you have company vehicles, you have insurances, you have a monthly insurance payment or quarterly or however you got to set up just for your business. The business has to be paid.
Mhm.
Always remember, in most cases, that you, the owner, are the last one to get paid. I had to learn that because when I got my first big check, I'm like, ooh, and then I'm like, oh, okay, let me pay that.
Mhm.
Oh, let me put this right here in this account for Uncle Sam because
Mhm.
that's a must.
Mhm.
Oh, I got this. No, I need to take 33% of what I feel like I got and put it back into my business
I like
because
that.
I want my business to strive.
Be
This ain't my
successful.
big paycheck.
Right.
I have a lot more of these. So I'm gonna stick to saying, because like, if you are full-time in your business and you pay yourself a full-time rate, or if you're part-time in your business and you pay yourself a part-time rate, that's where where it comes at. Because you got if you're part-time into your business and you get a big check, you feel like you got to spend all that. You ain't thinking about nothing else, and it is a tough place to be in because you're not thinking that if I was able to get a job, I'm at 100%, 50% went back to paying Uncle Sam and my employees, and now I got 50% of $20,000. I got 10 grand sitting in my hand right now. Do I really want to put 33% of that, or 60%, or 50% of that
But you,
into the
but you,
back into the business, and then put the rest in my pocket? It's a tough spot to be in, but it's a spot that's when I go back to the being patient
maturity.
and
Mhm.
humble,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you put all that combination together, you you made a big check. Perfect. Great. Things are looking up. We're going in the right direction. All right, let's
Mhm.
put this money where this money belongs.
Yeah.
Let this little $250 that I said I was gonna pay myself, and I know I got $18,000 over there, but I'm gonna take this $250 and I'm gonna buy down,
That's
and I'm
yeah,
gonna
the
take the
cream of the
wife and the
crop.
kids out.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna take the wife and the kids out because I kind of put a lot of time into this job. But I know I got 18 grand right here.
Right.
Ooh, and
Right.
those
Yeah.
those I don't really need those rims, but they're
Those
gonna look
choices.
so good on my truck.
See,
Do it.
see,
I
see.
can't do it. But if I had rims on my truck, maybe the customers will be like, "Oh, he is
No.
nice. their trucks look
No,
good.
they're gonna know
No,
you
no,
expensive is what they're gonna
exactly.
know.
So
That's good.
stick with your game plan. If
Yeah.
patience and humbleness is the key.
Hmm.
Stick to
Hmm.
your game plan because in the end, again, you'll be on top. You'll be where you want to be, and you're gonna get to that point if you stick with your business, accept your failures, learn from your failures.
Hmm.
Don't be fearful of things. Be scared to step out your comfort zone sometimes. And
Yeah.
the more you step out your comfort zone, you don't build a cockiness. You build a confidence, rather. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
I'm confident that I can handle this. And if you don't try it, you won't get there. Like I said earlier about the dream,
Yeah.
and the killer of the dream is the fear of failure.
Yeah.
Don't let failure get into it. Running around back around. I always got to throw that in there. Do not
Yeah.
let failure and fear of failure stop you from doing it. You get
That's
that big
good.
check, stick with your original
Business
game plan.
plan. Thank you.
Stick
Yes,
with
that's
it.
good. That's good.
Stick with it.
That's a good way to end this. I appreciate the wisdom that came from our chat today. I'm walking away with some jewels and some wisdom also as I continue to embark on my changes and what God is opening doors and doing
Right,
for me as well. A lot of times we don't think that we're successful because we don't have the tangible means by which we can say I made it. But I just am grateful that yeah, stick to the plan, because if you
good
don't stick
plan.
to the plan, you'll mess around and find yourself out here, way overspent when if there is a hiccup or something that comes along,
Right,
you ain't prepared. So
exactly.
it's important for us to be prepared. So
Stick to the
thank you
plan.
so much.
One
This
more
is,
thing, LaShawn,
go
before you
ahead,
close
go
this out.
for it. Go for it,
One
go.
more thing. Just like LaShawn was
You
saying,
flowing.
stick to the plan. Think about this. If you ever brought anything from IKEA that you have to put together, and you put it together and you reading the plans, and the moment you say, I can do this without the plan, and you try to put that piece of furniture together, and you got all these extra screws, but you feel like the furniture is together. You move it, you put it right where you need to have it at, and then you
Mm-mm.
start placing items on it and it collapses.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I mean by
you
saying
fit.
stick to the plan. If
Yeah,
you sway away from the plan, now listen,
yeah,
I'm not saying that the plans can never change, but when you do change the plans, think about what you're changing and think about the long-term effect that change will have on your business. But if you stick
absolutely.
to the plan,
That's
it'll
good.
work out for you. If you don't stick to the plan, you're gonna be somewhere. I'm not gonna say you're gonna fail at that point, but you're gonna be on a
Wobbly.
wobbly shelf, and then eventually you put too much weight on that shelf, it's gonna fall down, and you're
That's
gonna be
fact.
like, well, I thought I had it all together.
That's facts. That's facts. Listen, don't
Stick
if
to the
you don't
plan.
plan, you fail. If you fail to
Exactly,
plan, you plan to fail.
exactly.
So you got to
Everything
do it
that you
right.
ever wanted, right? Everything that you ever wanted is on the other side of fear. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave y'all with that.
He said that's working on him, y'all. Listen, next he'll be
I'm
preaching
telling you.
his sermon next week at church. But I just want to say thanks again for the wisdom. Listen, somebody
Yeah,
struggling with fear out there, listen,
yeah,
there is help available to you. Again,
yes.
we want to reiterate that there are resources, the Small
Mm-hmm.
Business Administration School.
Yes.
There are bunches of women, minority owned business enterprise agencies that are out here
Yep.
to help you with
Blogs,
your
all kinds of
fear.
things. Yes.
Blogs, business blogs,
Yep.
listen, magazines,
Mm-hmm.
Fortune 500. You want to get up there with the big dogs, Fortune 500 magazine. You want to look at Black enterprise if you're a minority owned or Black owned business. Listen, this is our moment, but I want you guys to be encouraged that, listen, just like Uncle said, fear can be the thing that stops you from succeeding.
Exactly.
Face those challenges in your business just like you face them
Yep.
on the
Exactly.
in the courtroom and in your neighborhood and in your, come on now. This has been the Richardson Family Hustle. I
Exactly.
hope you guys have enjoyed. God bless you.
Exactly. God bless you. Take care.